Hi guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I am Donnie, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my Harry Styles Love on Tour 2022 concert and camping experience. I know this is a little different from what I normally post on this channel, but I thought it would be fun to tell this story because I had an amazing time. I had never camped or been in Pitt before, so it was definitely a wild experience. So I'm making this video for anyone that wants to hear my experience, my story time, and for those that are going to camp or are going to Pitt or just the concert in general to get kind of a feel for what it's like this year. I actually got tickets for this concert back in May, I think, when they were doing pre-sale. That is a whole different story. It was a very stressful process. I did not get tickets for original pre-sale. I got them when they added the 5 dates for LA, and funny enough, I accidentally got tickets to 2 different shows, and I'm honestly really glad that we went to 2 different shows because we were planning on doing one at Barricade and the other at the back of Pitt. So the concerts that we went to were on the 24th and the 26th, and so we flew out of Orlando on the 23rd into LAX, and immediately we went to the venue because we wanted to spend that off day getting merch, and we also wanted to check out the camping line and see if it was bad already or if we could come later in the day. So we waited in line for merch. It took only about an hour, but I did spend a lot of money on merch. I will be showing you guys the merch that I got towards the end of this video and talking about sizing and all of that fun stuff. But after we got merch, we went to check out the camping line, and it honestly wasn't that bad. It was only around 11 a.m. and there were around 50 people, I would say, in line. And so we decided, since we had nothing to do with our day, that we were just gonna get our stuff, get ready, check into the hotel, and go and start camping. I do wanna say we were not planning on fully camping. We didn't have a tent, we didn't have sleeping bags, we only had 2 lawn chairs and some blankets. Camping was a really spontaneous decision, but I'm really glad we decided to do it because we got probably the best spots in Pitt that night. We did get a hotel near LAX. It was the LAX Marriott, and it was about 8 to 10 minutes away from the venue. And we just did this so that we could easily go back and forth if we needed to get stuff, needed to go to the bathroom, needed to get food, or if we ended up wanting to sleep in a bed in the middle of the night. After we got to the hotel, we went to Target, got some snacks, some water, some poster boards to make posters at night, and a tent and sleeping bags. And that's when we headed back to the Forum. We got there at around 3 p.m. and we just set up our lawn chairs and basically started camping. Basically how camping works is the people that are first in line are designated the wristband people, and so they'll give you a fan numbered wristband to hold your place in line, and you do have to stay camping. You can't get a number and leave, although I know some people probably do that, but we were not going to be those people. And with that wristband, we were, I think, numbers 127 and 128. Since you can't officially camp on Forum grounds, you have to be on the sidewalk right outside. And so we basically just spent the whole day on the sidewalk. We made friends with our neighbors, and it was honestly really fun. I had a really good time, and at around 9 p.m. we were allowed to set up our tents, and he actually had a concert that night that we were camping, so we got to hear it from our tents, and we were making our signs and just hanging out with each other, and it was just really fun. At around 11-12 we actually went to sleep. Surprisingly, we got about 5 hours, which was more than I expected to get sleeping on the sidewalk. The only thing that was really rough was that it was freezing cold. I slept in sweatpants, a crew neck, I had a sleeping bag and a comforter, and I was still freezing cold. So if you are deciding to camp, make sure you check the weather and plan accordingly, because the night that we went, we didn't expect it to be in the 50s, and it was. And then the next morning, we just packed up all our stuff, and at 9 a.m. they have everyone get in a single file line, and security will lead you up to a tent and they'll give you your official numbered wristbands. And after that, then you were allowed to leave and come back later. So when we got our official wristbands, we were 114 and 115. So the fan wristbands were a little off, which is pretty typical. A lot of people leave or just don't stay through the night, so that tends to happen. You could be a few before or a few behind. At this point, I thought that was a pretty good number. I had no idea how many people fit around the barricade. All I knew was that I wanted to be on Barricade because I'd never been there before. And after that, we got all our stuff together, we drove back to the hotel, and we showered and immediately started getting ready. At around 2 p.m, we headed back to the venue to take some pictures and start lining up. They do start lining you up at around 3 p.m, and they will either call out numbers or you just hop in the line behind the people that number is in front of you. It can get very hectic and there are a lot of people in a small space. So get there early, take your pictures, just be extra prepared. This is where the lining up and going through security and all of that starts. And that is a whole process. It is very long. It's a lot of waiting and sitting and going through a lot of stressful moments. So at around 4 p.m, they started shuffling people through the first little set of lines before security, and we all just sat and waited. And at 5, we were allowed to go through security and get our wristbands. And security is very, very stressful because that's the point where you can get out of line and numbers can start getting messed up. There is a bag size policy if you're not bringing a clear bag, and then there is a sign size policy, which we did not know. Our signs were too big, so we just threw them away. It was too stressful to try and talk it through, so I just threw mine in the trash because I just did not want to have to lose my spot in line. But other than that, it was fine. We got our wristbands. I have them right here. The wristbands are super cute. This one says "spinning out, waiting for you," and it's a bunch of watermelons. And then this one says "I'm in an LA mood," and it has sunflowers. After you go through security and get your wristbands, that is when you go through another set of lines and you can get back in order if you want to try. Some people are very nice about it, some people not so much, so you really just got to be assertive and get back to your spot and let them know that you're not cutting. But then right after that, you are just waiting in front of the little marquee that says floor seats, and there's about 10 lines and it just weaves through all the numbers. And so we were probably in the 4th or 5th line, and we just got to sit there until 6 o'clock. They allowed people to go upstairs on the terrace and go to the bathroom if they needed to or wanted to get a drink or take pictures, because upstairs on the terrace is where they have all of the pictures of Harry throughout the years on his tour, and they also have a bunch of quotes from his songs on Harry's house. And then at 6 p.m. they start shuffling people in to pit. And this is where it can get very, very stressful, at least for me. I did not know what to expect. I didn't know how much of Barricade was gonna be left over. And that's basically all I was thinking. I was like, I wanna get Barricade and I want a good spot. So we shuffled down a few flights of stairs and they let people in, I'd say about 25 at a time in a group, to actually go into the pit. Once we got in, the Barricade right by the first catwalk when you get in was basically completely empty. And we wanted to be on the side over. And so we were running over there, but the Barricade was full. So we decided to just get the Barricade right when you enter the pit, and that's where the end of the catwalk is, and we were just hoping that that was a good spot. That was about 6:15, and the opener doesn't start until 8, so you basically have 2 hours to go to the bathroom, get a drink, do what you need to do. People will start filing in behind you. A lot of people are really nice, and some people just really want to keep their spot. So if you are on Barricade, be very careful. Let people know that you're going to the bathroom and that you'll be coming back, so they know what you look like, they know you're not cutting and shoving in front of them to get Barricade. Also, if you are gonna leave Barricade to go to the bathroom or get a drink, make sure your friends hold your spot before you leave your spot, because once space opens, people will try and fill it immediately, and then you get all squished together and it's not very fun. But that was my experience getting to Barricade and the whole camping process, and he was right in front of us probably half the show. It was honestly amazing. He did the whale right in front of us, he did the stomps in front of us, he came onto our catwalk so many times, but I probably had the best experience I could have hoped for. I know there's a map showing where Harry sings all of the songs around the stage, and I wouldn't say it's completely accurate because each song is sung basically all around the stage. He does sing some in specific places, like the center of the stage on this side or the center of the stage on this side. He sang Sign of the Times at the end of my catwalk, which was totally unexpected and pretty crazy. I know that it says he sings Cinema on the beginning of the other catwalk, but he pretty much sang it around the whole stage and then did the stomps on our catwalk. And for all the other songs, he basically ran around the stage the whole time. So no matter where you are, you're gonna get a really good view. But as for where I was, I think we had a pretty great view. It was just kind of crazy how much he actually was on our catwalk and was interacting with us. I will say I did go to 2 shows and I noticed that he did poster talk on mainly the left side of the stage once you're walking in. He did do one on the right side of the stage when we went for night 2. For the second concert we went to, we decided we didn't want to camp, we didn't want to get there at 9 a.m. to get wristbands, we just wanted to show up and have a good time. But we got to the Forum at around 3:30 or 4, and we just took a bunch of pictures, hung out on the terrace, and we ended up going in at around 6:30 or 7, and we were probably 3rd or 4th row in pit, but we were behind some really tall people and I'm very short, so we decided to just go hang out in the back and have a good time and be able to dance around with a bunch of space around us. And we had a much better view in the back than we probably would have if we stayed in the pit. But that concert was also very fun. It was a very different vibe. We just decided to have a good time, dance around, make friends, and just enjoy the music and the concert, not have to be on our phones the whole time, which you don't have to be on your phone the whole time you're in pit, but it is very tempting when you're on barricade and he's right in front of your face to have your camera out the whole time. So I would say going to 2 different shows was a great experience. One was very overwhelming and I honestly can't even process the concert because he was so close to me and I made eye contact with him multiple times, but I also just had the time of my life and I can't wait to go back again. I will say one helpful tip that I wish I knew before I went is drink a ton of water and make sure you're eating a lot of food, because when we camped and the night that we went to the concert for the second time, we didn't drink that much water. We barely ate. I think we had 1 meal each day. With how much we were doing, it was hard to actually get to food, especially when we were camping. And when we were on barricade, it was hard to leave and go get stuff. There was food outside the venue, but for some reason, we just decided not to eat that much. We had food right before we left my house, and that's about it. As the concert was coming to an end, the second night we went, I was feeling really dizzy, really lightheaded, and a little nauseous. And I think it was a mix of little sleep, no water, no food, and jumping and dancing around so aggressively. But that's probably the only tip that I have that I wish I knew going into the concert. I mean, it's pretty much common sense to drink a ton of water, but I really didn't want to have to go to the bathroom that often because I didn't want to leave my spot. So that was the one thing that probably wasn't the best thing to do. So just keep that in mind if you are deciding to camp or going to the concert. So those were my experiences of going to 2 Harry Styles Love on Tour concerts in LA. And now I'm gonna show you guys the merch that I got. The first thing that I got was the Harry Styles Love on Tour Los Angeles poster. It is very big and I didn't want to roll it or fold it, so I left it at home. But if you want to know what it looks like, you can look it up online. It is very cute. But then I got the Love on Tour LA merch for my specific shows. I know for the first day the shows were wrong, but by the second day they changed them. And this is what it looks like, super cute. The next thing that I got was the Love on Tour tote bag. I feel like this is just a must. I just love this design and this pattern, and I love a good tote bag. The next thing that I got, of course, was the Love on Tour crew neck. I got this in a medium. I'm usually an extra small, and this is kind of like the perfect oversized look. It's not too oversized, it's just a little bit. So if you like a big oversized look, then I would get probably 2 sizes above your normal size. I know some people were saying that you can try it on and return it within 2 hours for a different size, so you can always ask when you go up to them. But this is what it looks like. It's just this on the front. Again, love the pattern. And the last thing that I got was this Love on Tour 2022 keychain. I honestly did not need this, but I saw it in the case, and when he asked me if I wanted anything else, I felt like I just had to buy it because it's so cute and I love the pink and red. But that is all of my Love on Tour merch. I spent $225 on all of that stuff, which honestly I think is a pretty good deal. I think some of the things are a little overpriced, but that's just tour merch. Also, for anyone that wants to see the outfits that I was wearing, I'll make sure to put a picture right here of night 1 and of night 2. But that was my Harry Styles Love on Tour 2022 concert and camping experience. I hope this was helpful to anyone looking to camp or looking to go to the concert in general. If anyone has any questions, be sure to leave them down below or shoot me a DM. I'd be more than happy to go into detail about my experience or where to go and stuff like that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe down below, and I will see you guys very soon with another video.